It's Carlos and Christina here at Ultimate Fitness Training once again, and thank you so much for watching the video. So today we're going to do a video on Ask the Trainer show. So Christina's going to be asking me some questions. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them to the best of my ability. So over to Christina.
Okay. Right, well, Happy New Year, everybody. The first question I'd like to ask Carlos is, a lot of people at this time of the year are trying to get into a new fitness training regime. They're trying to set themselves goals. What are the best ways to get into starting to train at the gym for somebody who's not been before?
Yeah, of course, it's a really good question. Obviously, that's what happens to most people. Obviously, probably never been in the gym before. If they did been in the gym before, perhaps they probably stopped. Obviously, I think 5 main things I would say on that. First and foremost, obviously, get familiar with the equipment, because a lot of people, believe it or not, still very unfamiliar with equipment, so get that sorted. Secondly, get a structure, because structure is vital for people to obviously get into some sort of like rhythm on getting any results. Then obviously get a structure with your diet as well, with the supplementation, and ultimately make sure you run with that structure and do it on a regular basis. That's probably the easiest and most effective advice I could give you from that question.
Another second question that I've got is it possible to do fat loss and muscle gain at the same time?
Well, from a scientific point of view, if you're going to look from a scientific point of view, when you're on a nutrition, negative nutrition balance, what I mean by that is when you're trying to lose weight, which is obviously when you're on a calorie deficit, what happens, your body goes into a catabolic sort of zone, of which burns muscle, burns fat too. So you are going to be burning muscle and you are going to be burning fat. However, when you are on an optimum nutrition balance, which is basically on a positive nutrition balance, which is taking more calories than what your body needs, so obviously your body is storing calories, that is an optimum in order to build muscle if you are staying anabolic. What I mean by that is if you are basically promoting muscle growth training, which is training to failure and training with heavy weights that you can handle. I don't mean heavy weights that you cannot handle. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is this: if you're obviously trying to burn body fat, if you're on a negative nutrition balance, you are going to lose fat as well as losing muscle. However, depending on your training and depending on how you cycle your calories, you can also burn muscle, burn fat, and as well as building muscle as well. It all very much depends, one, obviously how much calorie intakes you take on a particular days, and how much anabolic training do you do. This is the thing, obviously, with it's almost like a £1 million question. If you read on a magazine saying you cannot build muscle on a negative nutrition balance, it depends on a lot of variables, okay? Because a lot of problem is a lot of people take that as an answer and forget the fact that there's a lot of variables, i.e. genetics, i.e. diet, i.e. supplementation, i.e. training. Do you know what I mean? So it does take a lot, but from a general point of view, if you don't do anabolic training and you are on a negative nutrition balance, you won't build any muscle.
The other question I've got is, I've noticed on Instagram, a lot of the ladies who do cardio, they have a certain figure, sort of more like a runner's figure, quite slight, whereas the ladies that do weight training, their figure is more built.
Sure.
I want to know, why is there such a difference between these two figures?
Sure. Obviously, to explain very simply, obviously there's 3 types of body. There's ectomorphs, which being a natural, slim, sort of longer bone human being. You've got a mesomorphs, which is basically people with a slightly bigger bone, if you like, and they tend to respond very well to weight training. And then you've got the endomorphs, which is basically the slightly larger intestine, slightly bigger people. So what it means is, say for instance, when you do a lot of aerobic activity, what happens is your body utilizes your slow twitch muscle fibers. So there's 3 types of bodies, and there's also 3 types of fibers, of which one is of slow twitch muscle fibers, of which are fibers that are very slim and thin, but they can go for a long period of time. It's the reason when you run, you can go for a long period of time. However, these fibers are very slim, very small, and it's the reason why if you keep activating these fibers, you you tend to have that natural sort of, when I say natural, I mean smaller, slender sort of look. Whereas the fast twitch muscle fibers, on the other hand, a lot more, if you like, muscular. The white fibers, and they're very, very strong, they're very, very robust. It's the reason why you see, say, sprinters, they're full of white fibers. So they're basically what it is. The white fibers are fast twitch, and the red fibers are slow twitch. And what it is basically they run on a completely different spectrum. Obviously, if you weight train, you activate your fast twitch, of which then you don't get necessarily massive, but you get a little bit more sort of beefed up, or if you like, built up, yeah? And then obviously if you do a lot of aerobic exercise, you then obviously move on to the other side, which is a slow twitch with fibers. However, and this is another however, in a lot of examples, is you find a lot of people out there that are genetics are different, and you may find that the loads of aerobic exercise, I mean, they're still big.
So you said, well, it's got the fast twitch fibers.
Yes, and a lot of times, again, it goes back to what I said, you know, like, you can say to someone, right, okay, so if I want to build muscle, so all I need to do is weight training. And then some people are still doing weight training, is still very small. Because one, they're probably not eating correctly, two, they're probably not taking any supplements, three, they're probably not what they're doing. Obviously, there's so many variables, you know, and it's how people also interpret this sort of, what I was just saying, for instance, is, I mean, some people might interpret one way, some people might interpret another way. There's so many ways of looking at things, you know, so this is why sometimes I'm very careful how I explain it, although sometimes people might even take it in the wrong way, or even may understand it different. But in the simple terms, it's three types of body, three types of fibers. If you do a lot of aerobic exercise and not a lot of weight training, yes, you're going to get a slender physique. If you do more weight training than aerobic exercise, you're going to get a more sort of built physique.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Next question is, why do people recommend fasted cardio so much?
Yeah, fasted cardio is a very, obviously I do it myself, it's a very, very scientifically proved method. If you do fasted cardio, what happens is this, obviously, as the name obviously explains, fasted, so your organism has been fasting. So let's say you've slept, say, 6 to 7, 8 hours, your body hasn't had no calorie intake. So what it is, if you start doing, when I say cardio, you mean aerobic exercise, because if you start running too much, then obviously you start burning a lot of muscle. But if you say do 60% of your maximum heart rate aerobic exercise, what's going to do is basically your body goes into your fat stores in order to basically burn body fat. And then what's going to happen is then you're going to burn a greater amount of body fat, of which then obviously you're going to look a lot more leaner, you're going to look a lot more toned, and obviously you're going to have a better look to you, if that makes any sense. That's the reason why people are doing more fasted cardio, of which is a more effective way to burn body fat.
Okay. My last question is one that women are faced with. I want to tone up, lose some weight, but I want to keep my curves. What would be the best kind of program that you recommend for that?
Yeah, that's a question that I could be literally here all day explaining this, right? Okay, very simple. Obviously, if someone wants to lose weight, they keep their curves. Obviously, at the same time, they need to be on a weight training program. However, and this is the big however, I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, if you look at a bodybuilder off-season, meaning obviously they're not going to compete within 6 months, say, they look massive, okay? They look huge. I mean, some of them can reach up to 25 stone, 26 stone, and they are massive guys. Obviously, they're carrying a lot of muscle as well as carrying a lot of body fat as well. Now, imagine just an example that I'm just giving you, the bodybuilder. Now, let's say the bodybuilder on stage is probably about 4 to 5 stone lighter. Okay, same person, okay, same person, but what it is, he has gone through a melting down of body fat, okay? Now this is the biggest thing with women. So when they see a girl on, I don't know, on Instagram, and by the way, photos are very deceiving, because have you ever met like a superstar and you say, oh my god, I never knew that she was so small, I never knew she was so big, or I never knew he was so tall. Because photos are totally deceiving, okay? Because you can't see how tall or big someone is, because it's a picture. So picture obviously tells you a million things, but also lies a lot, okay? Now, what I'm trying to say to you guys is this. Now, when people say, oh, you know, I want to keep my curves, I want to do this, You can still do that. However, you've got to think that there's a process in place in order to do that. So let's say a lady will say 14 stone, okay, and she doesn't want to lose her bum. However, she wants to lose everything else. That's impossible, because your body cannot spot reduce, okay, unless you have some sort of liposuction or specific surgery in that area. Your body cannot do that, okay. So what you then need to do. Fat is fat, muscle is muscle. You can't replace fat and muscle. You can't replace, do you know? What you can do is you can lose your fat and then you build the muscle, okay? You can't swap them like that. It just doesn't work that way. And in order to build the muscle that you so want to, there's a level of process. There's a huge level of process. One, obviously, is your training, your weight training. You need to really apply yourself minimum 4 to 6 days a week. You need to go from from an heavier and heavyish and sort of mediocre sort of intensity, because obviously you need to start training heavier, but that's going to take a while. So obviously ladies out there that obviously probably were a little bit bigger and then losing weight, that can be done. But if you want to still keep, when I say curves, you mean shape, it's going to take a while, and then you got to then rebuild your body, because what you so-called curves a lot of the times is it's a great amount of body fat, you know. So you can't, you know, it can be. Don't think no, it can be a head fuck, really, if you excuse my language. But you got to think to yourself, there's a process. There's definitely a process, and obviously that process is going to take time. And when you see these girls, and this is another thing I'd like to say. When you see these people on Instagram that have got massive ass and they've got loads of muscularity, obviously a lot of these people take a lot of substances too. So make no mistake, you know, these girls or these guys, they just didn't get a physique like that just by eating Smarties, you know. You know, it's just, don't take me away, you see them laughing, smiling, and you think, wow. But it takes a huge amount of effort. It takes a huge amount of financial, because this food and all these supplements and all these substances these guys take, it costs a lot of money too. So it's not something that I would say it's supposed to be easy taken, you know. So if you really want that physique, you've got to really ask yourself, are you prepared to do what it takes? Okay, because a lot of people, I think, take it too light, of which I mean, you've done it before, haven't you? Obviously, you've gone from, I mean, Christina is one of my best transformations I've ever done. It's absolutely phenomenal. So she went from being quite overweight, would you say, and to basically win this year her first competition of which she entered, and she came in Pro Elite. Basically, she took first place. But you went through a process, you know. You didn't go from one extreme to another straight away. So it does take a while. I'd say the biggest thing to really sort of close that argument down is, if you really want to, if you are either bigger or smaller, or you need to lose body fat, and you still want to keep your curves, my biggest question is, or my biggest sort of indication to explain that particular question is, depends on a person, because it depends what you mean by curves as well. Because if I was to ask,
well, for me, it's like lose the gut but keep the butt. I think a lot of women want to go with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Obviously, when you're losing, if you want to get a flat tummy, you need to be on very much on a proper diet in order to get really a flat tummy. So in order to keep that and keep the body fat that you've got in your butts, it's very hard, because your body can't spot reduce. So when you're losing weight from everywhere. Now, at the same time, on the same breath, if you do that particular diet, but then you then working on weight training and taking certain substances, of which I don't have a comment here, then obviously you'll be able to do that. Of course, because there's people do that. However, if you're going to do it naturally, it does take a little bit longer. Definitely. I'm not saying it cannot be done. What I'm saying is, there is a lot of parameters of which need to be met that a lot of people are not aware of. And then this is the biggest thing. A lot of girls like, yeah, I want to have a flat tummy, I want to have abs, but I don't want to lose my butt. No, the body cannot do that. It's not something that you can almost like process in your brain. Your body does not. Don't forget, our bodies do not want to lose body fat. The brain sees body fat as survival. So that's the reason why it's so hard to burn body fat. Most of us in our lifetime will want to lose fat, but we can't, because our body is not allowing us to do it. And that's the biggest thing. But it can be done, as I said, it can be done. We need to do weight training, you need to do supplementation right, you need diet right, and you also have to do aerobic exercise right. Of which you did, which is brilliant. For Christina, obviously, you're just broadcasting, asking what people are thinking out there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic. So, what do you think? I'm just going to ask a question to Christina. How do you find the journey since you've started from when you were slightly overweight, you overcome a lot of things in your life, and now where you are? How would you explain that to people out there that are probably thinking, I wonder what she did?
The journey was absolutely phenomenal. When I started, I didn't envisage what was going to happen at the end. So originally I just wanted to lose a little bit of the weight that I put on. But once I got into the process, I realised that I got why people go to the gym. The endorphin rush, you know, meeting friends, losing weight, you know, the social side of things, and looking so much better. So it kind of was like a process where I thought, oh, I'm going to carry on. And then when I started seeing the results, I actually thought, oh, where could this take me? And that's when I saw that there was a competition called the Transformations Competition with Pure Elite for people that had lost a lot of weight. And then I really got serious and I thought, right, I'm really going to go into this. But I think the important thing to remember is that you have to make a start. If you just look and think, I want to be fit, you know, there's a process to it. You need to set out a programme. So Carlos sat me down, he said, oh, you need to come to boot camp 3 times a week, you need to eat certain foods, you need to drink a certain amount of water. Without a plan, sort of plans fail. So it's really important to have something in mind. And also, Carlos used to give me targets each week, so just to drop a little bit of body fat each week. He didn't say to me, you know, you need to lose 3 stone, and that was it. You know, that was a process that came from the things that he was telling me to. It's a very gradual process. The thing I liked about Carlos's methods was that each week I could see the progress, and it was quite inspiring. And a lot of people that are around Carlos from the strength camps and the boot camps, they're really inspiring too. You'll find that with friends and family, you know, sometimes they want your best interest, but you know, mum sometimes is saying things like, oh, come and eat a big fat meal. Your friends are saying, come to my 21st birthday and let's go raving when there's alcohol. You know, you have to have that group of people who are on your side to promote your fitness journey. Otherwise, that's where you're going to fall down. But surround yourself with your people and you will be fine. But yeah, it's been an absolutely amazing journey, and I'm so grateful to Carlos for being my PT and just getting me on the road.
Your vibe, attract your tribe, as we say here. So it's fantastic. It's exactly what Christina just told you guys. It's not rocket science. However, some people make it really complicated. But there is a level of structure, there is a level of activity, there's a level of hard work. Because I always say to the guys, you know, like, a lot of people think, oh, I want to look like that, fantastic. But you need to be able to prepare to do what it takes. Because it's not, I wouldn't say it's an easy thing to do. You know, it's not an impossible thing to do, but it's not an easy thing to do. So what Christina has done has been absolutely unbelievable. And I'm very, very proud of her. But now what Christina's doing now is the next stage. So obviously now she wants to tone up a lot more. She wants to look a lot more muscular. So obviously we're trying to do that, but that's a process as well. You know, it's going to take a while. You got to give your body doesn't move that quick. You know, it doesn't get results that quick. Although, don't take me wrong, we all want to press the button. As I always say, press that button, and want it now. You know,
that was me before, wasn't it?
Well, but that's I think with everyone's program. I mean, the most common thing I hear from people that contact me and say they've never trained with me, or either email, he says, how long? So I train with you, how long? I says, my God, if I had an answer of how long, honestly. I mean, imagine all the people that I could potentially train. If I said, listen, I've got a miracle cure, come to me, 10 weeks and you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Imagine. Brilliant. You know, that just how long. It all depends on how you really apply yourself and how you really react. And ultimately as well, a lot of it is, everyone's an example. So my body can do it in, say, 6 months. Christina's body could do it in 3 months. Who knows? You know, it's very much of and how you apply the variables. Yeah, it's a very big thing. But anyway, so here you are, another video on Ask the Trainer. today with the lovely Christina. So on behalf of Christina and myself, thank you very much for watching the video, and you know where to find me on Instagram, which is ColorStrainer10, also on YouTube channel, which is ColorStrainer. Don't just like it, make sure you subscribe, it's free, and share and like our videos. So with all that said, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay fit. Have a great day. Take care.
Bye.
You know that one, do you?
Yeah.